lane number 2. And in lane number 3, Claire Myler of Wales.
Choice weights here, 155, 180. If you're just joining us, a big rep at 180.
Claire Myler already with points on the board. That is the trump log for her. And remember from last year, for anyone who tuned in, Claire Myler, who gave the moniker Claire freaking Myler because she competed in 2 weight classes and did exceptionally well.
Claire freaking Myler's doing 2 weight classes this weekend as well, but she's going for the under 82s.
Wow.
And the 50 plus.
She had quite a weight cut, I know, but she smashed it, and she is looking strong here, rep after rep on the 180-pound log. Struggling for that lockout.
She held it.
She did. She's got to be a little bit smart with how long she presses through. Hopefully not tiring herself out for the other weight category she's competing in.
Oh.
That'll be 2 reps for Claire Myler.
High mark set right out of the gate from the Wales. Claire Myler with 2 repetitions at 180 pounds.
Again, the light log for our Masters 50 Plus category is 155 pounds. That's 70.5 kilos. The heavy log, which you just saw Claire Myler knock out 2 reps, is 180 pounds, 81.5 kilos. That is the heavy log. Any single rep with that trump log edges out. Light reps. Our next heat, Carrie Ann Davis of the USA takes lane number 1. Melanie Poa of New Zealand in lane number 2. Jay Dickens, USA in lane number 3. And Molly McDaniel of the USA in lane number 4.
2 reps of 180 pounds is the mark to beat. Right now, Carrie Ann Davis heading right for that 180.
Carrie Davis goes straight for the big 180-pound log. But I don't think it's going to happen, and she knows it.
So she makes her way back to the other log, which I think is a smart move.
Melanie Poa has 1 rep on the board. Going for number 2.
30 seconds remaining.
Bit out of the groove there.
Has Carrie Ann now exhausted herself by trying that heavier log?
I hope not. That is always a gamble that is very costly when it goes wrong.
15 seconds left.
You can see with that positioning how it's pulling her wrist down.
Yep.
It's upper back is just taxed.
She's pointing up. Maybe the lights above her are slightly disorientating her a little bit.
Well, that's why we see a lot of athletes with the sunglasses.
Yep.
Melanie Poa will be that heat leader, getting 1 rep with the 155 log. However, Claire Myler is still in the lead with 2 reps at the 180-pound, 81.5 kilo log.
Lane number 2 from Australia, Allison Dan. And lane number 3 from
All right, our next heat in lane number 1 will be Carrie Poole of Canada. In lane number 2, Allison Dan of Australia. In lane number 3, Joe Kowalski of England. And in lane number 4, Kristen McCarthy of the USA. Look at that competition experience amassed by Allison Dan. 10 years competing.
Here we go.
Kristen opting for the trump log.
2 reps at 180 pounds.
Needs to beat 2 reps from Claire Myler on that heavier log. Can we see it? A little bit of a wobbly start. Nope, she's going back to the other log.
Allison Dan gets 1 rep, as does Poole.
On the lighter log for 2nd place.
Oh!
A little stumble there. McCarthy with plenty of
stumble there for Kristen.
Carrie Poole looking to get another rep.
Allison Dan, that's 2 reps with the 155, has pulled ahead in this heat.
Under 10 seconds.
Less than 10 seconds remain. Can Allison get 1 more? No, it'll be 2. But that is enough to put Allison Dan as our current 2nd place event leader behind Claire Myler. That is our next heat. Penelope Barber of the USA will be in lane number 1. Lacey Hughes of USA in lane 2. Genevieve Sager of Canada in lane 3. And Kiki Børre Jonsson of Norway in lane number 4. There's Kiki right there.
I love Kiki.
She is such an amazing person. Her and her husband, Egil, really do their part in growing strongmen in Northern Europe. Feel very lucky to have experienced FEF4 Power Week under their organizationship. Really great people and powerful people.
This is our final heat for our women 50 plus.
Athletes are opted to bang out 155 pounds.
All athletes have decided to go for the 155 pounds.
Allison Dan currently in second place.
Every athlete, unfortunately, struggling here on the log press. No, this is not one of Kiki's strong suits. She's looking strong in that positioning, but is possibly at the peak of her performance capacity here.
She's leaving it there.
30 seconds have passed. Coming up on 20 seconds remaining. Ten seconds.
This is a 70.5 kilo log, guys.
Under 5.
This is the weight in which I will be using in competition at the start of next year, so I know how challenging that weight is.
Indeed. Our athletes will be carrying 590 pounds. That's 267.5 kilos down the course.
590 pounds on the car.
Now, for people to understand the difference of that, this is what the CrossFit men were doing here in this building. I think the weight difference is like 10 pounds. So it's pretty amazing that the women in here are doing that.
Well, one of the phenomena that we see from year after year is just for athletes to see something is possible. You see a record beaten, the next generation of athletes takes that note. There are no limits. If there are, I will shatter them and I will move forward. And with more exposure and growth and opportunities and professional statuses being available for all athletes, men, women, even lightweights, all of it, it really paves the way for the strengths of yesterday to be crushed.
Correct. And then it paves the way for everybody to get better in the future. I mean, it's so much different now, competing now, than it was when I first started. I mean, there was almost no way to make money at it.
Indeed.
Social media wasn't a thing. None of this stuff was there. Now you have people competing that actually do better from the social media, which allows them to become a better competitor because they're not working a 40, 50-hour a week job and then trying to train and then compete at the same time. So it allows their body to get more rest and makes the competition better for everybody. Just keeps notching it up another level.
Taking it up another level indeed. And Carrie Ann Davis will be our pace setter there. We'll get an official measurement. Janet McGraw finishes in second with 12 feet 3 inches. Shara Hoyam 6 feet flat. And once we get that measure, there it is, 16 feet 6 inches. Measurements across the board, but we will see some finishers in these latter heats.
Yes, we will.
Heat number 1, we're going to move on to heat number 2 with a full.
Heat number 2, a full 4-lane heat. Jay Dickens of USA in lane number 1. Molly McDaniel, there she is, USA, lane 2. Joe Kowalski of England in lane 3. And Penelope Barber of USA in lane number 4.
Yeah, I love this event. I really do. This is my out of all the events here at OSG, this one is definitely by far my favorite.
It's become a hallmark, and when you have these available to use, why not? I mean, these are very valuable pieces of equipment.
Oh, massively.
Nick, you've had plenty of experience on car walks over the years, so I want to pick your brain especially. Okay. What unique attributes of this are different than a simple yoke carry?
The bar's thicker. This is a 4-inch bar. So the bar's thicker. And if you get a yoke with a 4-inch bar and you train with that all the time, everything that you touch after that's going to be easier. Now, to train for this and get ready for it, you want to put the weight, instead of in the middle where the uprights are, you want to put them out at the end of the skids on the yoke. If you do that, it'll make the yoke wobble more. And if you get used to running with that, it'll really apply and roll over to this.
Just the concept of running with this is something so profound, but we've seen it and we'll continue to see it. Penelope Barber edges ahead in lane number 4 of the USA. She's looking stable and sturdy, but goes down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jay Dickens in second, possibly seizing a moment of opportunity.
So a couple of the problems here with this is you see the pick heights are pretty high, which it's going to create problems when you're walking with it when you're tired, because the tires are going to hit. The moment the tires hit, you're done. You're going to fall.
25 seconds left.
Jay Dickens is starting to really swerve there. Almost fishtailed into Molly.
15 seconds. Under 10. Less than 5.
Penelope Barber has completed as much as she can, and she will be our new event leader.
Wow.
And I believe lanes 1 and 2 may edge their way into that top 3 as well.
Yeah.
That looked to be more than 16 feet for both of them.
I'm wondering how the turn of the car, well, the furthest point, where would you count that from?
That's a technicality that we would have to ask the OSG crew. In my mind, I'm thinking maybe they might take the difference between the left front wheel and the right front wheel and find the middle point, the average between the two.
Right.
We'll get a measurement
But
here. Looks like we'll have
that is a nice complexity to ask the crew.
Well, some people like to turn their cars.
Indeed.
I think there was a car walk a few years back where somebody was almost sideways going across the finish line,
Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that indeed.
which was pretty insane.
It's from the center of the vehicle, it goes sideways. I'm getting the official metric of the rules there. Okay, that's from Darren Sadler himself. It's from the center of the vehicle if it goes sideways.
Okay.
All right, we have it from the
Now we
head
know.
of Giants Live right there.
there.
Penelope Barber, our new leader with 36 feet 0 inches. Jay Dickens, 25 feet 3 inches. And Mick Daniel, 24 feet 2 inches. So we saw our top 3 all in that last heat. Our next heat takes the arena floor. Genevieve Sager of Canada in lane 1. Kiki Burley Johnson of Norway in lane number 2. Melanie Poa of New Zealand in lane number 3. And Carrie Poole of Canada in lane number 4.
Number 4 is getting scooted back, so let's say hello to our next heat of athletes.
Should be a good
Number
heat.
1 from Canada, Genevieve
I
Sager.
think so too. Now I see Genevieve and Kiki both have 0 points after the log press. That means they are fighting to make up some points here.
And in lane number 4 from
Yeah,
Canada, Carrie Poole.
This event's going to be important to them because you don't want to drop too much further back. So they're going to have to put the hammer down on this.
Put the hammer down and the pedal to the metal. Indeed. Melanie and Carrie are both tied in 3rd place after event 1. So it'll be good to see who can break that tie on this heat. Athletes take their positions. 590 pounds, 267.5 kilos.
All right, Kiki's up.
Foot the distance.
There we go. Kiki,
Carrie Poole in lane number
See Kiki
4
getting out of
from
position a little
Canada.
bit, possibly feeling something go a little bit
Nose ahead of
awry.
Genevieve Sager. It's Canada in lanes 1 and 4 doing all the work now.
yeah, she was moving pretty quick.
She was, but it looks like Kiki has stopped.
30 seconds remain.
Melanie Poa has not left the starting gate.
Wow.
Carrie Poole,
Advancing on that
Fighting.
score now.
15 seconds left, and she will give everything to edge out Penelope Barber.
10 seconds left. Will we get finished?
5 seconds.
Look at
5
Genevieve.
seconds.
That'll be good points for them.
Yes, yes, and that will be our new event leader in lane number 4. Look at her, all smiles. Sinking into her car right there. Take a break, you earned it.
Yeah, I think Kiki hurt her back.
Well, maybe, hopefully she didn't hurt her back and just felt something going possibly down that direction and getting ahead of it. But she's walking off the arena floor with a good level of haste. So imagine she's okay.
Well, she's moving pretty quick.
Yeah. But still a measurement for Kiki. One thing I was talking to Nicola about, it's so interesting to see all the facial expressions as our athletes are walking off of the floor.
Always.
Our final heat will be stepping onto the arena floor. But Poole is our new leader, 43 feet, 8 inches. And she is all smiles about that truth.
Yeah.
It's got to feel good.
Oh, it's got to feel phenomenal.
But, Nick, no one has completed the course so far.
I'm kind of surprised at that.
If anyone can do it, it'll be these 4 athletes. Kristen McCarthy of the USA takes lane 1. There's Lacey Hughes on your screen, USA in lane 2. And here we have Alison Dan of Australia, lane number 3, with Claire freaking Myler of Wales in lane number 4. Warming up for her second appearance later on through the day, just like she did last year. You know, talking to some different people throughout the spectator crew and so on, they're a bit ambivalent towards being able to compete in 2 categories. And for me, it's just like, well, you know, if you talk a big game, just back it up and no one can say anything about it.
That's true.
And Claire backs it up every step of the way. Claire Myler,
she's
first
off.
out the gates.
Yeah, she stays like this. The car's not moving, so that's perfect. The less that car moves, the smoother that's going to be. Yeah, I think she's got this, no problem. And it's done.
She's done it.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth.
Hughes, giving it her all, closing the distance, but goes down one more time. Not surprised with Claire. Even if she has not gotten under a car since last year, she did it twice last year in 2 different weight categories. And it shows itself in how smooth that carry was for Myler.
Look at Hughes now.
Lacey Hughes, the epitome of relentless.
Yeah.
Less than 5 seconds.
This could be the difference right here. Just simple pick.
And it is not going to happen. But Claire Myler, the one athlete to finish the course, 20.38 seconds, our event leader.
The winner of your Jocko Field car walk in the women's Masters.
That was pretty impressive because it was just nice and smooth. The car didn't wobble that much. She just came through at a nice, easy pace. Very impressive. Smooth footwork.
There she is, representing Wales, Claire Myler. Okay, in our Women's Masters 50 Plus category, Claire Myler, to no surprise, finishes the course, then the only athlete to finish in 20.38 seconds. She has amassed 30 points over on the right of your screen. Look at Lacey Hughes. She's in second, 44.4. Carrie Poole, 43.8. And moving down the course, Kiki and Shar get a measurement with Melanie, Kristen, and Allison. Unfortunately, not amassing any points here, but they did have some points in that first event, which is critical.
Yeah.
Critical when all is said and done. This is a points game. All right, 365 pounds on the light axle, 440 pounds. That's just under 200 kilos on that heavy axle, and all 3 athletes will opt for the light bar. I have a special guest joining with me on the live stream. Nick Best, welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you, sir.
Good to have you as always.
Good to be here.
These bars are moving.
Yeah.
All of them are on the lighter bar, but by no means light, 165.5 kilos.
30 seconds remain.
Yeah, 365 in pounds is pretty serious for anyone over 50. And then the women are out there just tearing it up. So
It's serious for anyone at all, my friend. Melanie Poa locks out her 6th rep as Kristen McCarthy peters out a little bit. Can this be 7? And it is.
Yep.
10 seconds left, feeling the pressure to go for 8. This is Melanie Poa of New Zealand, and she does it.
Wow. That's
8
pretty impressive.
reps in 60 seconds. Just a little over 1 rep, or just a little over 7 seconds for each rep. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's good will and good determination as well. And her conditioning is good because You don't get 8 reps in a deadlift in a minute if you're not in decent shape.
She puts the pressure on the rest of her class. Char Hoyam of Canada will be in lane number 1. Kiki Burley-Johnson of Norway in lane 2. Joe Kowalski of England in lane number 3. And Janet McGraw, USA, in lane number 4. Remember, our viewers, you can reach out to any of our athletes. We have their Instagram bios right there, or their handles at the bottom of their bio.
Yeah,
Let them
go
know
follow
you're
them.
watching. Yeah. Send them a message of love and support. It means the world. All 4 athletes once again opting for the 165.5 kilo bar, with McGraw up first and Kiki. She gets 1.
Yeah, pulled it easy.
Well, no, she did not get the down call.
Wow.
So that's 2 for her.
Kiki's going for it. She's going to the 440.
She wanted to make sure she had points. 440 will be big for Kiki.
She can do it. She's got to want it.
Oh, it was looking good. A bit of a teeter off to her left side.
Yeah, off balance just a bit.
It's so hard to come back for an attempt after missing a first. You rarely see it pan out successfully. I'm wondering if Kiki didn't have to do 2 reps at the 365, if she could have pulled it off.
Kowalski looking to tie that lead. She's got 5 seconds left.
Joe going for 8 to tie the lead, and she does it. That is 8 reps for Joe Kowalski.
We now have a co-tie, co-lead, cohabitation.
A shared lead between Kowalski and Poa with 8 reps at 365. So far, we have not seen the heavy bar go up.
Nah, Kiki gave it a good run.
She did, and again, I really wonder if she had gone straight for it. If she could have gotten it,
Yeah.
let
I
alone
think
not having to do 2. with the first
Yeah. I think she could have, and I also think picking it up, she was just slightly off center, and you could see it like crank on it, that's not going to help your back very much when it's off balance like that. So being out of position, she probably couldn't get the effort she wanted to pull.
Indeed. Davis, McDaniel, Dickens, and Seger take to the floor with Carrie Ann Davis attempting the 440.
Going straight for it. Here we go.
65 is the lead, but 1 pull at 440 pounds will give you the lead.
Oh, she's got it.
Our new leader,
Nice.
Carrie Ann Davis of the USA in lane 1.
Going for 2. Oh,
Stalls right about there
Just
below
get-
the knees.
yeah, just got to get to those knees, and
140 pounds.
then you can pop them forward and start pulling.
It's quite a critical transition point in that deadlift.
Yep. I think staying tight on the way down with this, so that when it hits the ground, if you stay tight the whole way and you hold that position, it's going to be the most advantageous thing for this. Because resetting, you could be in a slightly different position where you're in the perfect position when you set it down.
Yes, but on that note, the athletes will have had to have done their work with controlling the bar. It's a tough thing to do. Lane number 2 and 3 walk
6-6.
away.
Yeah.
6 reps.
Your new leader, the first to pull the jump weight at 440 pounds. Successful.
One athlete has pulled the trump weight at 440 pounds. Let's see if this heat has anything to say about it. That's Claire Myler of Wales wearing her gold leader shirt.
Yeah.
She'll take lane number 4.
I think she might have something to say about that.
Penelope Barber of the USA in lane 1, Carrie Poole of Canada in lane 2, and Lacey Hughes, USA, in lane 3.
Wales, Claire Myler.
So we can assume Claire is going to go straight for the second bar.
200 kilos at 50 years old.
And we have 3 of our athletes,
Going
2,
for
3,
it.
and 4.
Going right for that right now.
Who will be the first? 2 reps will take the lead. Myler is looking good for as many as she wants.
2. In first place now. 3.
Claire freaking Myler in lane number 4.
4.
Lacey Hughes goes back
Yeah,
to the
there.
light bar.
That was smart. She's sitting there holding, waiting to see what she needs.
Penelope Barber is moving down the course, and Claire is watching her. Oh, well, she's not watching Penelope, she's watching Carrie. It's quite a grind for Carrie Poole to get her second rep, and I think Claire Myler knows she's safe with 4.
Smart. Very smart.
Look at Penelope Barber getting
Pulling.
whistle blows, but she was looking good.
Very good. It's conditioning, it's will, it's determination. She did great. But Claire, smart athlete.
She's an animal.
Yeah.
She's an animal, and she's, again, still warming up for her second appearance later on in the day, looking very chipper as she sprints off the course.
Yeah. Well, that's just a nice, like, easy warm-up for her.
It's what a weird thing to say that 440 pounds is an easy warm-up. But it's no surprise that Claire Myler took to the arena last year by storm, knocking out a tremendous performance in 2 categories, and it's looking like she's going for a repeat. Let's check out the scores after that event. Claire Myler, 4 reps in the heavy bar, secures first place with Carrie Poole, 2 reps on the heavy bar for a second place finish. Carrie Ann Davis is the only other athlete to get 1 rep on the heavy axle. But look at this tie, a 3-way tie for 4th place between Melanie Poa, Joe Kowalski, and Penelope Barber. Another tie for 7th between McDaniel and Dickens with 6 reps, and another tie for 9th place with 5 reps between McCarthy and Hughes. Moving on to 11th through 20th place, the reps will continue but decrease. Janet McGraw gets 11th place with 3, a tie for 12th between Dawn and Sager, 2 reps, and Kiki Burley Johnson, 1 rep, gets her 14th place, but still valuable points. And Shar will get 0 points, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got to pull them.
You got to pull them. You got to pull them. And to start off the day with a deadlift, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it was always my favorite.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
Oh,
he knows if you're awake. There's Big Bad Santa right there, Albie Mulshaney. This is a good event for him. It tends to be. We'll see if it is today or not. But that is our first 4 athletes, or first 3, I believe. We'll see if it's a 3 or 4. Isn't that an amazing thing?
But here's my question. Why should he? Why should he stop?
Every year he comes here, even as the years advance, as he gets older, he is always in peak form and prime. And furthermore, the same can be said about Peter Runberg.
Yeah.
He's there ready to answer the call and ready to put on that pressure. There is one more event here in the qualifying rounds. It's going to be no surprise that both men do advance on to the finals.
Yeah.
But I imagine, as impressive as Mark's finishes are, Runberg is going to challenge him at every step of the way. You can't get relaxed here.
No, Mark can't relax at all. Mark's got to come out and go after this medley, because Runberg has the possibility of beating him in it, and then go 1 and 2. And if they do that, they're going to be tied on points going into the finals. And then you got, the events in the finals and the wrecking ball hold. I don't see anybody touching Mark.
The Sandbag medley up next is a very interesting event. This was a static event we just watched. The athletes are in place, banging out reps in the deadlift, but now we're adding that element of movement.
Correct.
What unique strategies would you be employing as you're approaching the sandbag carry?
For the sandbag carry, I would definitely be loading them on the front of the implement, because you're going to be able to get a little bit of a raise out of the back of it a little bit easier and drive into it harder.
A little bit of a raise is going to be closely watched, and that's why the staff has told the athletes you have to grab the round bars in the frame.
Correct. But I would probably put my hands down low and drive my chest into that bar.
We saw that strategy employed so effectively with our women's Masters 40-plus category, and I think the athletes who are paying attention in our men's division started to excel. However, there's some behemoth frames out there. And there were some guys who simply did not need to do that and just pushed.
Correct. I mean, if your shoulders are that strong and your lockout's that strong, yeah, you can just lock out your arms and just go. So,
moving on to our women's Masters 50-plus category for the sandbag medley. In lane number 1 will be Shar Hoyam of Canada. Lane number 2, Kiki Burley Johnson of Norway. And in lane number 3, Genevieve Sager of Canada. The light bag is 150 pounds, 68 kilos. The Husafel-shaped sandbag is 175 pounds, 79.5 kilos. And that sled, let's just say it's heavy, especially with bags.
It gets heavy quick as you're dropping stuff like that in it. So,
Nick, have you gotten to use these Cerberus Husafel bags before?
Yeah, they're wonderful.
They look pretty.
They're not only they look good, I like getting a hold of them, because once you grab it, your hands kind of dig into it, and you just pop it right off the ground.
We've seen people picking them up vertically, or some even tilting them horizontally. Which one would you prefer?
Because my mobility is not as good as it used to be, I will pick it up vertically. As it is, I'll just lean it forwards and pull straight up in the air, throw it in the air, catch it, and run.
Kiki is the first one loading the bag in the sled. Long legs for a long stride. All three athletes have gotten their first bag. And look how easy Kiki gets that up.
Yeah.
This is her event. This is where Kiki shines.
She's going to kill this event.
It's one thing to get those bags there. I want to see Kiki with an instantaneous push of the sled. Look at that, the chest contact, and she is off.
Start with 2 feet, push it, get it moving, and then just drive your feet.
Don't get in Kiki's way. Look at her go. The mammoth sled in motion. Wow, our first athlete to complete. Genevieve Sager unfortunately dropped her Husafel bag right before getting into the sled.
No. She got it right on the end, so that's going to help.
Wow. She will get a slight distance measurement, which is important. But this was Kiki's event, and look at that. Kiki Berg Johnson of Norway, 150 feet in 47.59 seconds. Your current event leader, putting the pressure on all the heats to come.
Yeah, she moved through that pretty quick. She moved through that really quick. That was very efficient.
She is happy. She blew us a kiss. That is high spirits right there, and I'd love to see it. Alison Dan of Australia will take lane number 1 in the next heat. Janet McGraw, USA in lane 2. Kristen McCarthy, USA in lane 3. And Lacey Hughes, USA in lane number 4. Remember, these athletes are coming out in the order of placing. So these early heats are the athletes who didn't do that well on the axle deadlift. Really looking to make up for some lost ground here.
Yeah. So you're coming out the way you finished in the last event in this phase. Then the next phase, the second half of this for the finals, it's all based on where you're sitting ranking-wise.
Indeed. Thinking back to our previous weight categories, the fastest time was in the sub 40-second range. But Kiki is already there, sub 50 seconds. I'm wondering how many of these athletes can break that mark. Maybe not this heat, but some of the heats to follow.
There might be a couple, but not too many.
Dan and Hughes are the first to get the bags in, but all 4 bags have been loaded onto the Husafels.
Bag number 2, 175 pounds, 50 foot the distance to carry. Alison Dan the first away.
Alison Dan is moving very well. She's primed for performance here. There's the 3-point contact. I love it, and she is immediate in her break from the gates.
She's got a good time.
This may edge out Kiki, but Allison has slowed down a little bit. There it is.
The thing that'll make a huge difference in this is what you pick for shoes.
Oh, absolutely.
If you go find some like really old school skateboard shoes that have the rubber that go,
you mentioned the other day you were a fan of Vans.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, did Kristen McCarthy get it? That was right at the buzzer. It was close. Hughes unfortunately slowed down quite a lot on that sled, but Dan will be our new leader with 44.91 seconds, getting 3 seconds faster over Kiki.
Yeah. That was a great run.
We have a new leader completing the course at a time of 44.91 seconds. Australia's Alison Dan.
Ed Cohen back there in the background.
Yeah. I see him.
2 heats
Ever watchful.
in our women's Masters 50+ category.
Good to see Ed here. All right, our next category, or next heat, I'm sorry. Molly McDaniel of USA in lane 1. Jay Dickens, USA, lane 2. Joe Kowalski of England in lane 3. And Melanie Poa, New Zealand, lane 4.
Lane number 3 will be England's Joe Kowalski. And lane number 4 will be New Zealand's Melanie Poa.
So they set the bags up the exact same for everybody.
They do.
You don't get to move them. You don't get to touch them. You got to pick them how it is. Everybody gets it the same.
I'm noticing McCarthy did not finish. She got 149 feet and 6 inches, so she was half a foot shy when that buzzer blew. That's
heartbreaking.
It's close,
Bag
but
number 1 weighs 150
still tremendous
Still
effort.
good points.
Down in lane number 4.
Look at the acceleration from Kowalski in lane 3, closing the gap, and the same can be said about McDaniel. Kowalski is emanating athleticism as she powers down the course.
Dickens good with her first load.
Had to kind of double clutch the pick on that one.
She did, but look, there's that acceleration again.
Yep,
And I'm hoping we see that transfer over to the sled. Poa from New Zealand is the first off the line, and I think Melanie Poa can take this. Kowalski has stalled out.
Yeah.
20 seconds remain.
She got to put her hands down low and put the bar into her chest.
15 seconds.
Melanie Poa,
Under
10 seconds left. This could put her in third place.
Less than 5.
Less than 5, and she'll
3.
do it.
She did it.
Poa squeaks the finish in.
Nice.
Melanie Poa will be our new third place finisher. Right in the nick of time.
That was a great run.
Double thumbs up from her. She's feeling proud. There's a
Warner.
56.46 seconds for Melanie Poa, our new third place finisher. Look at that. Right as the buzzer was about to go off, she looks immediately to her judge to verify, and you see it. He's right there on the mark.
Hitting the button.
56.46. All right, our next heat, Penelope Barber. This is our final heat.
Yeah.
Penelope Barber of the USA in lane 1, Carrie Ann Davis, USA in lane 2, Carrie Poole, Canada in lane 3, and Claire Myler of Wales. Getting used to wearing that golden leader shirt, apparently.
Yeah.
Lane number 4.
I think. This should be a good event, too.
One heat remains in our women's.
Oh, she's still warming up for the other class.
Lane number 1 for the United States, Penelope Barber.
So the interesting thing is what she's going to pick up from doing this first in this class to rotate over to the next one.
It's vital experience as she moves into the open category. I believe it's the 82 she's competing in later.
What do you think, 42?
We might see a sub 40-second time from Claire. Look how, yeah, I'm thinking we see sub 40 seconds. But the sled will be the determining factor. That is the wild card here. Everyone has the sandbags to train on if they do their work or find a good gym. But these are unique sleds, these mammoth sleds, engineered specifically.
Did you see that? She had it halfway in her lap, let go of the bag, re-grabbed it, and then took off.
So reactive, and she is immediately out the gates.
This might be quicker than 40.
Carrie Poole is not far behind, but a little stuck.
We're at 35 seconds right now, and she has live.
I think that's your winning time.
I believe that was sub 40, probably around 38. We'll get a confirmation.
Carrie Poole from Canada, putting everything she's got into that mammoth sled right now, halfway across the course. with
Carrie
15
Poole
seconds
past the
remaining.
halfway mark. She's got about 10 seconds left.
Davis in lane number 2. Penelope Barber getting a distance added to her score as well. 5 seconds.
Wow.
Nice, she made it.
Right about 55 seconds there. Claire Myler, 35.05 seconds, our event winner. Recap on the scores. Claire Myler breaking that 40-second threshold in first place with 35.05. Allison Dan, 44.91. And Kiki Burley Johnson, although she was early to start, this was an event for her to shine. She is the only other athlete to get a sub 50-second finish. Carrie Poole in 4th and Melanie Poa in 5th. These are your top 5 and the only athletes to finish. McCarthy so close, only half a foot away.
Yeah, it's
but
heartbreaking.
still, that's big points. Big points. Even if she had gotten it over, that would have been the same amount of points for her. Jade Dickens, Molly McDaniel, Genevieve Sager, and Joe Kowalski all get both sandbags, but Shar Hoyam only gets the cylinder bag, finishing in last place but securing 1 point.
Athletes start 10 feet away from the 13-foot height. The bags are 20.
Jade Dickens is the first one to hurl the bag toss over, and Molly McDaniel answers the call. These are the 20-pound bags flying with ease for these two athletes, but the bag weights are now increasing to 25 pounds.
Second time of it. Dickens just shy on the 30-foot. McDaniel's 30-foot. That's a 25-pound bag on 13-foot toss.
Jade, unfortunately, hitting the crossbar and not making it over. Molly McDaniel as well, and just as I'm announcing this, I have my friend Nick Best right next to me to help break down the action for you all.
Yeah, good morning, Gabe.
Good morning, Nick. Look at that. Molly McDaniel teeters over the edge.
Yeah, hey, over's over.
Over is over indeed. She has one more of the 25s.
Probably needs to back up just a hair from the platform because she's throwing it and exploding into the platform.
And one thing you will see with this unique event is a single missed toss means you have to retoss it. And repeated retosses will result in dwindling energy. Those tosses start getting lower and lower. The apex is shorter and shorter. It's hard to watch. But if an athlete does manage to squeak one out, that makes it extra impressive.
Yeah. And, I mean, the more you go, the more you're drained and the more costly each miss is. So you want to hit them dead on.
Carrie Ann Davis of the USA in lane number 1 and Kristen McCarthy of the USA in lane number 2.
So I like how she's grabbing 2. Doesn't have to go back and forth. She's saving time.
McCarthy is sporting that kilt, possibly a Highland Games background, so she is adept at throwing heavyweights up to the sky.
Oh, right into the...
That was a great toss from Carrie Ann Davis there.
Oh, almost.
This is a 13-foot high bar. Carrie Ann Davis gets it onto the 30s.
25 seconds left.
She has 20 seconds left.
Davis launches 30. McCarthy working on
Kristen's kind of running out of gas.
Yes, I would say both athletes are at this point. Less than 10. Oh! What an upset there, but she knows how close she was, and there is some pride in that.
Yeah, very much so. What do you think the over-under today is for getting a bag stuck on the top again?
It's going to be really hard for a bag to get stuck, and if we are holding it to the same degree of ruling that we had in the OSG regional championships, you have a certain amount of grace period up there, that if the bag falls down on the opposite end after X amount of time, it won't be credit.
Oh.
Like if it falls back towards the athlete. If it stays up there, it's gone over, but it has to stay up there for a good amount of time. If it does fall over, it is credited to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
But again, it's a very low-profile bar. I don't see bags getting stuck. However, it does tend to happen sometimes. Alison Dan of Australia in lane number 2 barely misses getting over, while Penelope Barber is on her final 25-pound bag. Barber is looking good, while Dan teeters on the edge back towards her.
The handle caught it.
And gets it.
Allison's on to her last 25.
25 seconds remain.
Dan is running out of gas. Can Barber launch the 30? Not quite. Every athlete will push until their time expires. There is a lot of pressure to not let any second go unused.
5 seconds.
Trying to pick up those final points.
You can hear Alison Dan roaring as she gives it every bit of energy she has. Our next heat. Melanie Poa of New Zealand will take lane number 1, and Lacey Hughes of the USA in lane number 2. Remember, I love these bios and the data points we have from ADL Live in this production. You have the athletes' Instagram handles at the bottom. Reach out to them. Let them know you're watching.
Go follow them.
It is
if you're not.
Power show from everyone here at the finals. And they're off.
20 pounds is bag number 1. Hughes and Poa.
Wow.
Hughes bounces over. She gets it. Needs to
out of space.
She's got a lot of power there. Both athletes onto the 25s.
Elon Musk is going to get mad. Have a competing vehicle in orbit.
There we go. Lacey Hughes making her bid at the space industry.
30 seconds remain. 2 bags left for Poa.
Poa with the wind-ups.
There we go.
Hughes gets the touch on her 25 pounds.
Nick, what is your take on the excessive wind-up swings?
If you're going for efficiency and speed, not a good thing. If you're just trying to get it over, you got to get it over the best way you can because every point's going to matter. So, technique-wise, not the best for speed, but technique-wise for getting it over when they're getting tough, it's probably going to work a little better for them.
Well, so far, only Dan is the athlete to get the fastest time, but still, both Dan and Davis got the first 4 bags. No athlete has gotten the final 30-pound bags, either of them. But as we ascend the leaderboard, the athletes are coming out now in order of placing. This is your final heat. Carrie Poole of Canada will take lane number 1. Claire Myler, your current leader, with a massive lead, 8.5 points over Carrie Poole.
Yeah.
Getting her warm-up before she comes out later on in the day.
Good point. She's got to do this twice.
Yeah.
Athletes are away. Myler's first
Yep, there you go.
20, up and over Claire DeMar. Back number 2 is
I like how she's kind of like dropping in and just sending it.
Myler.
Ooh, a bit off on her trajectory. Needs to wind back a bit more.
Again.
Myler does have a strong lead, but needs
There you go.
to calibrate.
She needs to get like probably 2 more before she's got no worries.
Myler is having a bit difficulty. She's releasing too early, isn't she, Nick?
Yeah, way too early.
Carrie Poole is on to the 30s.
This might cost her some points.
15 seconds remain.
15 seconds. Poole. Perhaps too late.
And Claire hasn't missed in height. There you go. She needs to get one. Oh,
This will be a joint tie across the field for our top placers. All athletes getting 4 bags. Tie in respect to the bags, but they do get a time measurement, so there will actually be no times unless they are exactly 100% matched.
yeah.
Will not happen.
That's gonna count. That's gonna tighten some things up because that probably cost Claire 4 or 5 points.
But again, Claire Myler is using this as her warm-up.
Yeah.
Ben, you have the final say. Who won that event? All right, Allison Dan prevails. 4 bags and a time of 21.76.
Allison Dan will be our leader, amassing 4 bags over the bar in a time of 21.76 seconds. Poa in second place, 4 bags in 24.66 seconds. And Davis of the USA will get third place, amassing 8 points with a time of 32.74 seconds. Carrie Poole, Lacey Hughes, and Claire Myler split that 4-bag success, but all getting slightly slower and slower times as we move down the top 10.
Yeah. So that was a pretty costly event. Oh
There
wow.
go the balls, and look at that. McCarthy goes down.
That's how the wrecking ball hole works. Who can take the pain the longest?
Wow.
Penelope Barber goes down.
Barber's down right now. Jade.
Jay Dickens, look at that stone face. She is so
Jade's
strong.
Jade's in the zone.
McDaniel cheering her on to her left, our right.
Wow.
Time right now. She's past 35 seconds on the hole.
35. 40 seconds.
Wow. We're barely starting to see some quivers there. 45 seconds.
Wow. She might make it a minute. She looks pretty calm. Oh, wow. Boy, it goes, huh?
Now we see a facial expression. It looked like you might have just hit pause, and that was Jay Dickens' posture. What a phenomenal hold from Jay Dickens
Oh,
there.
that's amazing.
450 pounds for nearly a minute.
Wow.
How cool was that?
Pretty darn cool. Very excited.
It was so cool to hear that release of all the pressure from the gas as that
Yeah.
as it sunk down. Wow.
Kind of been interesting to know.
Our next 4 athletes step onto the platform. Carrie Ann Davis of the USA will be on platform 1. Lacey Hughes, platform 2. Melanie Poa of New Zealand, platform 3. And Alison Dan of Australia, platform 4.
Getting her handset.
You see all
Chalk.
Yes. It's Carrie Ann Davis.
Very excited as she walks by.
Yeah, that was Jay Dickens passing
Yeah.
our table right there. She knows she did something great. I'm still blown away by how
This is like 50 seconds.
But her posture, her facial expressions,
Yeah, just stone.
I don't know if anyone can beat it.
That's going to be hard to beat.
450 pounds, 204 kilos.
I don't know if I could hold it that long right now.
Well, I'm sure you could
Yeah.
if you really needed to. And we'll get to see what our men's Master 50 Plus are doing in a little while. Right now, we're just getting those final cues from our fire ants, the crew on the field. That's what we've dubbed them. Last year, they were wearing blue shirts. They were the Smurfs. This year, they're the fire ants. You just see an army of them take to the field, and they get the job done in such a coordinated fashion.
Get out there. La, 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 la. Sorry, guys.
Oh, let it go, Nick. Let it go.
Yeah, well, you know. You get kids.
Yeah. All right.
I'll believe it on that.
Stones of steel are supported up high. The athletes will take the strain.
I like how they individualize it to each person's height.
And then that platform below will drop out 8 to 10 inches, and they will have the full weight.
We're getting ready. Lacey Hughes showing that weight right away. Hughes goes down.
Wow.
Athletes finding a happy
Melon.
place now to settle in and take that strain. 54.
Wow, you see everybody trying to go in the zone. Everybody breathing. You can see the pain in their faces.
And Davis goes down.
Poa and Dan.
Is Poa completely off the platform?
40 seconds now. 54.25.
54 is the time to beat.
Poa goes down.
Now it's Australia's
Allison Dan goes down as well.
Going to be really close.
Jay Dickens with the time of 54.25 seconds. We'll see if Allison Dan can get the job done.
Time of 54.25.
That's going to be tough to beat. That's going to be really tough to beat.
Score from the official clock.
All right, so if people don't know, you're going to have 2 groups of 4 and then 1 group of 2. So the first and second get an advantage and know what they're walking into.
Our leaders in second place with 38.5 points, Carrie Poole of Canada will be standing on the right, and Claire Myler of Wales, wearing the golden leader shirt, will be standing on the left.
Number 1 for the center, stage right, will be Canada's Carrie Poole. Stage left will
So
be
time to beat's
Wales,
54.
Claire Myler.
But look, Claire Myler has quite a lead over Carrie Poole right now with 6.5 points over her. That is a lot of ground to make up for Carrie if she wants to go for it.
So basically, to put Claire in a good spot, she just needs to finish past the second place time and past Carrie's. If she does that, she'll be sitting well. Oh, they switched the sides for him.
Okay, there we go. Now the athletes match their bios there.
So they're setting the height as they go. So right now, good points in this event. Oh, 54.64.
It gets shaken up a bit.
Yeah.
0.4 of a second longer than Jay Dickens. Allison Dan will pull into the lead. Melanie Poa, 51.3 seconds for a third place finish. But I imagine that these two athletes will make a statement here.
Right now, that's 365 pounds for reps at the animal booth, with 6 months of pre-workout up for grabs for whoever in this arena can pull 365 pounds for as many
There is
reps.
focus in the facial expressions. And here we go.
This could be interesting. A lot can change with this event. A lot.
And they are away 450 pounds in the animal wrecking ball.
Quite a bit of a wobble going on with Carrie Poole, but she is sturdy and stable. Claire Myler looking very cool and collected. Well, both athletes. This isn't phasing them.
Nope. Just hanging out.
450 pounds dangles from their grip.
That's amazing.
Coming up on 30 seconds now.
No, they're staying pretty stable, staying pretty calm.
Starting to see Myler shake a
40
little
seconds.
bit. She's looking to the ceiling now, whereas Carrie Poole,
Steady as a rock.
Myler goes down.
Uh-oh.
Carrie Poole going for the win.
If Carrie Poole gets that, that's going to be a lot of points.
Our new leader and the winner of the Animal Wrecking Ball hold, Carrie Poole.
Wow, so she's got it.
She's already won. She doesn't need to keep going, but she is making a statement.
Oh boy. There we go.
Canadian strength, Carrie Poole,
Wow.
your event winner on the Animal Wrecking Ball hold.
Her time ends. She was somewhere around 75 seconds.
Holy cow. It's like a minute 15 almost.
We'll get an official time, but your
Look at her. And one of the things I like about this, even though it's such a grueling test of the athlete's grip strength, doesn't really impact the body too much. Leaves them relatively more fresh for the Atlas Stones as the final event. Our Atlas Stones, 150 pounds, 175 pounds, 200 pounds, 225, 250, and the heaviest stone at the end of this series for our 50-plus category, 275 pounds. That is a whopping 124.5 kilograms.
Yeah, that's getting pretty heavy.
Getting pretty heavy, and the trend continues across all weight categories and divisions that the standard of strength gets set and reset from year to year.
Yeah, and these are the Masters women, so they're over 40.
They're over 50.
They're over 50. Yeah, case in point. They're going to do a 275-pound stone, and they're over 50. That's amazing.
Look at Kristen McCarthy, one motion
And she's
these first
cruising.
2 stones.
Stone number 3 and 200.
Getting it up, pulling it back,
That'll be a 50.
rowing it in.
Stone number 4 and
McDaniel getting a little bit of a re-tacky. McCarthy on her 3rd stone. This is the 225.
She's got it easy. It's pretty smooth.
60 seconds.
Now, each platform goes down, what, 4 inches?
Not even. It looks like about 2 inches of a descent on each platform.
15 seconds.
Kristen, I don't know if she'll be able to get it. 15 seconds left, though.
Less than 5.
Kristen McCarthy will be our pace setter, successfully lifting 4 stones to the platforms. McDaniel giving it her all.
Look at the smile on her face. That's awesome. She's very excited.
She's happy with that, and she should be. She is done. She made it to the finals. She did the full extent of her ability, and she will be riding that electricity from here on out.
Crew's setting them back up.
There's Magnus Magnuson right there in the middle. Jade Dickens of the USA will be in the next heat, along with Penelope Barber, also of the USA. The All-American heat is Jade Dickens wearing some overalls. Look at that.
I think she's wearing some Dickies overalls.
I love it. That's actually a pretty good choice for stone lifting attire.
I'll agree.
And she was so great to watch on the wrecking ball hold.
Yeah.
Stone-faced, and that's an attribute to have when you're lifting stones. Penelope Barber is the first to the platform with the 175, 150 onto the 175. Jade getting stuck, has to do a bit of a press if she wants it.
Underneath it, yeah. She needs to get it up in her lap and reach around the top of it more. Not the side, or around the top. Lean back, pop it with her hips.
Wow, the grit and determination from Jade.
Look at that.
She will not stop.
She's trying to get her hands underneath it.
Penelope Barber on her way up with the 225. Oof. It's a good thing she was wearing her belt to cushion that blow a little bit.
Yeah.
Under 5.
Less than 5. Ooh, and you can see that stone spin on the smooth surface area of Penelope's belt there. It's kind of a gamble some of these athletes make wearing the belt.
Yeah, I mean, I like wearing a belt on these, but I don't latch it. I keep it loose. You know, it gives you a little bit to catch on the stone a little bit, and you can use your hips to pop the stone up.
Interesting. I just don't prefer one at all. I just like the body's ability to wrap around without any smooth surfaces. But
yeah, but you're ungodly good at the stones.
This is still a mark of practice and comfort. Everyone's built different. Everyone feels better with their leverages. But that's what I love about this sport, and the stones particularly, is you get to see all the different training philosophies and equipment philosophies come into play.
Yeah, but figure, Gabe, you loaded the FIFA stone this year, and only one person had done it before you guys went this year. So it's a granite stone. That thing's brutal, and you killed it.
Thanks, Nick. It was fun. Let's go back to Norway and do it again.
Yeah, all right.
Carrie Ann Davis of the USA will take lane number 1, and Lacey Hughes of the USA will take lane number 2. This is another All-American heat.
Yeah.
Wow, Lacey Hughes and Carrie.
Yeah, both of them. They're going. One motion.
Lacey pulling ahead.
Stone number 1 weighs 150. Stone number 2
wow. Hit the platform on the way up and just still pops it right up there.
225 goes up for Lacey Hughes, moving on to the 250.
New leader coming up. Here goes Lacey, sitting, pull it in. Oh, she got it.
With the 250. 15 seconds left. This is enough time, but she needs to move now.
Yep. Let's go, Lacey.
Under 5.
Pulling it in. Oh my gosh, she's got it.
She would have been good for that if she had 5 more seconds.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, you really have to just keep that gas pedal down, and that is so hard to do under fatigue.
Yeah.
Our next 2 athletes, Melanie Paul of New Zealand will take lane number 1, and Alison Dan of Australia that's Alison Dan right there, taking a whiff of her smelling salts.
That'll wake you up.
I'm sorry, that's Melanie Paul right there. There she is. Melanie in the blue, Alison Dan in the black. New Zealand and Australia.
2 athletes making their way down as the red shirts continue to offload these platforms. In lane number 1 from New Zealand, Melanie
Crew is flying, just getting things set up quick.
They are so fast and so effective. This is a battle of the Southern Hemisphere about to take shape. 4th and 3rd place, respectively.
And they are away.
Alison Dan and Melanie get to the platform at the same time.
Wow.
175 is stone number 2. Here comes stone number 3 at 200 pounds. Up and on for Dan.
I'm still thinking Aaron needs to be an auctioneer.
Yeah, he would do great. Look at Allison getting the 4th up to the pedestal.
Man, they're going through him.
The 250 for Melanie Poa.
Pulling it in.
First, Dan taking a chance to retag. 20 seconds left.
Allison now gets it up. Melanie Poa.
She's got it.
Dan good as well.
This is
250. Got to grab and go.
That's not enough time. They need to move.
44-inch load.
Let's go.
Less than 5 seconds.
Neither athlete will get it.
Still a good run.
That 60-second time expires so quick.
Yeah, it does.
So quick. Our next 2 athletes, Carrie Poole of Canada and Claire Myler of Wales. These are your top two. This is the battle right here. There is only 2 points of a difference between Carrie and Claire. Pressure for Claire to do well, but also pressure for Carrie to be the first athlete to get all 6 stones to the platform.
Claire's got to get 5 fairly quick, and it's all set. If Claire loads the last one, it's all she needs.
Carrie Poole really pulled her way up on that wrecking ball hole. But look at Myler throwing that stone. 175. 200 for Myler.
Wow. She's moving through these like they're not even there.
A phenomenal stone loader, and Carrie is doing well too. But look at Claire Myler. 275 pounds.
I mean, it's all over. She's already won.
Claire Myler.
That's just dominating right there.
Has earned the title of World's Strongest Woman over 50. What a beautiful run. Cheering on Carrie Poole. Carrie is laboring to get it to her lap. 250 pounds. And time will expire. Claire Myler was just firing off those shots.
Congratulations, Claire. Great job.
Your women's Masters 50 Plus athletes.